Welcome, another week's gone by. If you've watched these videos before, you probably already by now realise and know I'm Dave Wood, and of course this is Semiosis 101. So if you want to, you can fast forward to today's video. But if you're a newbie, stay exactly where you are. This will be your first Semiosis 101 video. I'm Dave Wood, a design educator and researcher, a published design author, and I've worked commercially as both a freelance illustrator and a graphic designer. I actually use semiotics all the time in my creative work, but probably like yourselves, I was never taught semiotic theory at design school. I'm a Scouser from Liverpool and a New Scot, and this Scout Scot Semiosis 101 YouTube channel focuses on explaining Peircean semiotic theory, but in a more designer-centric way, to visual communication designers, illustrators, graphic designers. The guy behind the theories, Charles Sanders Peirce, wrote them late 19th, early 20th century. And he was a philosopher, a mathematician, a theorist, but he wasn't a creative. I have a PhD in visual communication, and it took until my doctorate to actually study semiotic theory in order to really understand how to apply semiosis, the active sign action of semiotic signs, when producing visual communication work. So, as a result, each week on this Scout Scot Semiosis 101 YouTube channel, I'll post at least one 10-minute video explaining an aspect of Peirce's pragmatic semiotic theory. Each free Semiosis 101 10-minute video will use design-centric terms instead of Peirce's theoretical language, so that illustrators and graphic designers can understand them. Each video will feature a take-home piece of applicable semiotic theory, and they do interconnect to build up your understanding of semiosis. But this channel is not a course in semiotics per se. Instead, think of each video as a bite-sized piece of new knowledge on sign action, or semiosis as Peirce names it. The aim of these free videos is to take Peirce's quite complex philosophical, theoretical language and put it in the context of designing visual communication, whether these are illustrations, motion, branding, packaging, editorial, etc. So whether you are just interested in semiotics, or you are a semiotician, a visual communicator, an illustrator, or a graphic designer interested in knowing how Peirce's semiosis theory can help to enhance your visual communication skills, then please like these videos, subscribe to the channel below. If you want to be notified when next week's video is available, click the bell button. Let's get to the 8th episode on general Peircean semiotic theory for illustrators and designers. In last week's video, we got a sneak peek at Peirce's 10 classes of semiotic signs. Today, in around 10 minutes, we will begin to explore the basis for these 10 signs in more depth, from simple to complex. So today we will just begin our understanding of why Peirce defined these 10 signs, and why, for now, you creatives don't need to be flummoxed by Peirce's academic terminology. I want in this video to positively blow your minds with the powerful potential of Peirce's sign action of these 10 semiotic signs, and to prevent your mind being blown up trying to struggle with Peirce's problematic philosophical language. The potential of semiosis to improve your visual communication skills outstrips any terminology to open up your ability to apply Peirce's semiotic theory into your commercial creative practice. The trick is to synthesize the theory seamlessly into your ideation phase by doing, rather than by tripping over the terminology, and that is why I make these videos, to help you over the obstacles of Peirce's terminology. So while it will be a theory-packed 10 minutes of semiosis, it will be in designer-centric terms. All great, rewarding journeys begin with small steps. So come and join me on your next small step to enhancing your visual communication skills with semiosis. Let's go. Okay, in this video
what we're going to focus in on is a sort of like continuation from the previous video about what Peirce defines in his theory about 10 semiotic signs. I mentioned in the previous one about the complexity of his language. So if you want to check out that video first before coming to this video, that might make a bit more sense, but this video is a self-contained video and we'll take this a little bit further. Okay, so in this video, we're going to focus as just an explainer about what Peirce classifies as the 10 semiotic signs from simple to complex. Okay, so if you look at it from the perspective of what we've been talking about so far, which is about the concept, what Peirce calls the object of what we are going to be visually communicating, which is based upon a triad. So the determination flow goes from the concept to how it's represented and how that representation then gets interpreted by our target audience. And hopefully, if we've done our job correctly, semiotically speaking, how we have represented the visual communication will help our target audience make connection back to the concept that is in the brief that we've been briefed on as designers, visual communication designers, graphic designers, illustrators, to actually achieve. So all of these things are intertwined, and this is the context that we're talking about in Peircean semiotic theory in regards to a higher level of thinking, which is how we can do this utilizing 10 semiotic signs. Okay, it's a lot more complex than I first make it sound, but the important thing here is to understand what we mean, first of all, by iconic signs. An icon is not the same as an icon in interface design, the icon that we press as a button to take us to another page in an interface. It's not the same as what we use in popular culture when we say, oh, that's an iconic building. It's not about that. This is the unfortunate thing about when Peirce wrote this theory in the 19th century, late 19th century, early 20th century, words change meaning. So part of my task here is to get you in a frame of mind that when I talk about iconicness, it is nothing to do with about any other use of the word iconic in popular culture. It is about how iconic refers to a particular state of the concept through how we represent it within Peircean semiotics. So as long as you're with me on this one, let's continue. So an iconic sign is the very basic level of how we visually communicate semiotically the concept. And that iconic sign is embedded within 3 signs of Peirce's 10 signs from simple to complex. Indexical, I will talk about indexical in future presentations because that needs unpacking. But if you think about your index finger, that's the clue. It points at things. So that's all I'm going to say at this stage. Come back and watch future videos to understand what indexical semiotic representation means. But here, there are 4 out of the 10 signs that are indexical in nature, that point to the concepts. And then the last one is symbolic. And again, the word symbol, we're used to the word symbols nowadays within interface design, within the interfaces that we use on our smartphones, etc. But when I talk about symbolic signs and symbolicness, it is in the context of Peircean semiotic theory. And these will all be unpacked in future videos, so come back and catch some of those. We can't do everything in 10 minutes. So we've got these 3 levels of how our concept can become represented effectively. Iconicness, very basic level. Indexical, mid-level of importance. And then the higher level of visual communication is the symbolic nature of things. And now what I'll quickly do is just take you through, from a Peircean semiotic theoretical point of view, his terms. And I'm not going to explain what the terms actually mean, but you can just see the problematic nature of the language that Peirce uses in his writing, which bears no resemblance to what we use within visual communication design. And even those words that we do understand, that we do see, are not what we think they are, because they have different meanings in semiotic language. So at this point in time, this video is just there to explain ahead of time, almost like a taster ahead of time, of how Peircean semiotic theory, despite the problematic nature of his terminology, has the potential to really enhance how we as visual communicators craft the visual communication that we do within our graphic design and illustration to connect with our target audience, back to what the client hopes you are doing within the brief. So all this language you see in these 10 signs, through these videos that I put together, I'm going to be translating all of this into designer-centric terms to help you make the connection to how Peirce can really, really help you up your game through visual communication to become more effective communicator to your target audience, which will make you more employable from your clients who want to communicate to you. Okay, so that's basically the focus of today's video, which is just to get you to a point where you understand the difference between what Peirce writes about, which is very, very technical language he creates, and how these videos that I put together through this channel will help you, as a meta language, help you make connections to that richness of his theory, so that you can actually, with confidence, begin to apply that theory into your own design learning.
So that is our 10 minutes of Peircean Semiosis 101 for this week. In a single diagram of an inverted pyramid, you can now see the range of semiotic signs ranging in power and each focusing on a different form of communicational situation. At the extreme points, we have the most basic form of sign 1, and the most complex sign 10. Each sign in itself has a varying power to communicate based upon the active sign-action combination of how a single sign utilizes the relationships between the concept, representation, and interpretation. This determination flow between the concept, representation, and interpretation relies on how each of those crucial elements interact with each other. This ebb and flow of interrelationships is controlled by each state having 3 levels of determination, again from simple to complex. To begin to explain this in more designer-centric ways, next week we'll begin this exploration by examining how the concept is represented over 3 levels, again from the simple to the complex. Yes, we will begin a month of unpacking iconic, indexical, and symbolic representation. So consider subscribing below. Hit the bell button so you can be notified when the next video on iconic, indexical, and symbolic representation is published. By following this Scout Scott YouTube channel, you will learn how Peirce's pragmatic semiotic theory of semiosis can help to enhance and improve how you visually communicate. I have many more Peircean semiotic topics to discuss, but I would be interested in hearing about your semiotic ideas. Add a comment below. If you like this video, check out my other semiotic videos and consider liking and sharing those videos with others. The more we creatives discuss semiotic theory, the easier its application into our creative processes will be. Over the years, I've collaborated with other design academic researchers and Peircean semioticians to develop a designer-centric explanation of Peirce's theoretical language. If you are interested in reading my semiotic Rosetta Stone academic writing, then you can visit my academia.edu link in the description. As a fellow creative and a published design author, I also have links in the description to my Scout Scott Redbubble shop, featuring illustrated and typographical gift ranges, and to my 2014 design book published by Bloomsbury Publishing, Interface Design, an Introduction to Visual Communication in UI Design. Any other books on Peircean semiotics I've mentioned in the videos are also listed in the description. Check them out too. Thanks for watching. Check out the other videos, like and share them with your friends, and hit the bell button to be notified when next week's video is published. See you all again next week for more Semiosis 101 to help illustrators and designers to enhance your visual communication skills.